middle Georgia. It was a rainy weekend there, and temperatures are expected to keep dropping throughout the state, just like we've been telling you.
That's right. Health experts are warning of potential risk associated with a sudden cold snap. Reporter Breasia Kelly has more on what you need to know to stay safe.
The dramatic shift in weather conditions are catching many by surprise. Following rain this past weekend, forecasters say temperatures are about to plunge, and health experts are sounding the alarm.
It's super important to make sure that you're staying ahead of colder weather, as it's something that can be lethal if you're not really prepared for.
For those not accustomed to freezing temperatures, the sudden cold poses serious health risk. Piedmont-Macon is urging residents to take precautions to protect themselves and their families from severe cold.
When the temperature drops to below freezing, like it will over the next few weeks here, can result in death if they're not able to keep themselves warm.
Dr. Charles Soares says winter weather can be dangerous for everyone, and there are two conditions to watch for: hypothermia and frostbite. Symptoms of hypothermia include shivering, exhaustion, and confusion, among others.
Your body temperature should be around 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Hypothermia starts when it starts to drop below that, usually related to cold temperatures or cold water.
As for frostbite, certain extremities are most at risk, including fingers, toes, ears, cheeks, and your chin.
Frostbite is kind of a similar idea, but only in an extremity or like a piece of your skin, as opposed to like a global or total body condition.
To stay safe, wear gloves, layer clothing to maintain body heat, and wear a hat, beanie, or earmuffs to minimize exposed skin, limit outdoor exposure, and stay dry.
If you ever feel like you're having evidence of frostbite or hypothermia, I would definitely recommend coming in as soon as you think you may be developing that.
Piedmont-Macon encourages everyone to take winter weather seriously and prepare in advance. In Macon, I'm Breasia Kelly reporting.